Hey, Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling, and I'm taking a look today at David Ali versus Owen Knight, steel cage match from Southern Honor 23. I am excited about this one. I have not gotten to see it at all. I've heard that it's an absolute banger. So we're looking at about 30 minutes of stuff, so I want to jump right into it. This match, a big deal. This was David Ali's. Please correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. This was David Ali's first title defense. It was against Owen Knight, steel cage, big deal for Southern Honor. Let's take a look, baby.
Wow.
Look at Owen Knight is heated, buddy.
I am your savior.
And once again, we get to be graced by the presence of our SHW champion. Not only our SHW champion, but also our savior.
Well, I guess we can be selective in who decides that they're accepting him as the savior. I will tell you this. It's a scary moment when a savior gets a title. And that's what happened Whoa.
Look at this. Shades of Mick Foley or Negan from The Walking Dead here with Barbie. That barbed wire bat.
So he's got a title in one hand, a barbed wire bat in the other. This is going to be interesting.
I guess can he take?
You know, I don't mind the aesthetic at all of David Ali with that barbed wire bat. I don't know as a commentator if I'm going to invoke Negan, because then you're drawing the parallel so strong that your mind starts going to, oh yeah, look, he's got a leather jacket and his body language. Oh, he's just trying to do Negan. I think you're better served as a commentator telling us what we're seeing and not editorializing as much. And because by pointing out the fact that he is similar to Negan, does that help David Ali or the presentation, or does it hurt it? And I think in this case it hurts it, right? They didn't show they didn't show, excuse me, Owen Knight's entrance, just David Ali. And it definitely makes him look like a star, no doubt about it.
Get into the cage with him. I mean, it's a no DQ match. A cage match is no DQ.
Yeah, anything goes in a cage.
But are you allowed to bring weapons in with you as you enter the ring? Is that what's going on here?
Well, I mean, I don't anticipate him getting out of the ring, so yeah, But listen, even
that's good. I think I like that Gerald is sort of getting Brandon off of this thing of, this is the thing that commentators often want to do. They sort of fixate on a point. Are you allowed to bring weapons into the cage? The answer is, who gives a fuck? That's the truth. And so Gerald's getting them off of that and moving them on to another point. And I think Brandon and Gerald work together really well in that respect.
with a baseball bat that's wrapped in barbed wire, Owen Knight is ready for this smoke. Owen Knight wants David Ali.
You see him in.
That's great. Gerald gets us to the point of Owen Knight wants David Ali. He wants the smoke. He doesn't care about the bat. He doesn't care about any of that, which really puts David Ali as the heel and Owen Knight as the face, which is a dynamic that I like to see. Who's in the ring right now? There's two people in the ring. Let's see.
In the ring, Owen Knight is chomping at the bit right now.
Wow.
Tell him to just bring it on, bring it in. Let's do this.
And listen, this match, as we mentioned, was a year or so in the making. But I gotta tell you, man, it's something when brothers fight. And I'll talk about that in a second.
Ooh, man. You just feel it in the air right now, the anticipation here in the action building.
You can cut it with a knife.
See, you could see that the cameraman, that one light, and I think, by the way, the lighting and the production look top notch. You just can't beat it. But you could tell the cameraman was like, God, this light is shining directly into this thing. I'm trying to get away from it, and I can't. So then they cut to this shot, which I think looks really good. So they have two referees. They have the announcer in the ring, Diana. This looks like a big fight presentation and a big fight setup. No quibbling, no problems with this so far. It looks sensational. I think Owen Knight dealt with it appropriately, which is he's like, come on in here, but then he backs up and lets David Ali have the spotlight for a little bit, as he should.
Because these guys have been working towards it. And let's talk about the fact that there is a strong possibility that David Ali may not leave the action building with the SHW championship.
This crowd letting them have it right now.
Oh, I don't like that call by the commentator. I think that's Gerald. You know, because David Ali might lose that belt. Yeah, that's, by saying that, you've basically tipped the hand that he's not going to. The whole point of a match is one person's going to win, one person's going to lose. And we don't know who that is. The less you can do to tip your hand by overselling one side or the other, the better off you are. I didn't expect for this to be about the commentators, but my goal this year is to improve the commentating all around. My general note for commentators is talk less, but especially talk less about stuff that isn't making things better. If you're not improving the presentation, then don't say it, period. Cool. Sorry, I was looking at text.
Gosh, this feels like a special night, because it is a special night. When you get to see two men who have legit hatred for each other battling, and it's not just a battle, it's the battle for the SHW championship. Something that perhaps 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, neither of them might have thought was possible. But 2020 brought us some strange things, and here we are in 2021 with David Ali as your champion, and his first defense inside the action building is against Owen Knight in a steel cage.
Love it.
Got a big fight feel because this.
Oh, see, that's one of those where, okay, commentators, if somebody hits something really well and really strong, shut the fuck up. Let it land. He set up the whole thing for us. 2020 was crazy. David Ali. And here we are. And I mean, without having to, it's the best because he's set something up without having to spell out every single word, which is, nobody could have guessed we would have David Ali against Owen Knight in a cage match for the SHW title. That's something that's unbelievable. And it came about as a result of a crazy 2020 and all the rest of it. You're not going to be able to say anything better than that. So don't fucking say anything for a while. I know I'm swearing a lot, but it fucking drives me nuts. Because every commentator that I fucking hear talks way too fucking much. And when somebody hits something good, let it land. When somebody does a fucking good comedy bit or something funny, let it be. Yeah? Fuck.
Is a big fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Oh, love that. The throwing of the thing, it just feels, their body language feels very real. Owen ducking it and immediately flicking him off. I fucking love it. As the announcer's doing her thing, I love it. Good job, Owen Knight and David Ali. You're making this feel great. I love how this fight feels.
Here's your main event.
Oh, now he's really ready. He's freaking...
The following contest is set for one fall.
I know the commentators are chuckling because it's funny that the crowd loves doing the one fall thing. I hate you wrestling fans. Let me say that again clearly. I hate you wrestling fans for yelling one fall. Fuck you. God damn. At least it's not what, but it's fucking pretty bad. I hate one fall. Hate it. Not announcers saying it, crowd saying it.
Southern Honor Championship. Introducing first, from Washington, D.C., weighing in at 202 pounds, Owen!
Great reception here from this SHW faithful in the action building.
I just realized Owen Knight's weight is also his own.
And his
How about that?
opponent,
commentators avoid the urge to make a joke, especially during the presentation of a big fight feel in a main event that feels very intense. David Ali and Owen Knight are doing their job. They're setting up this thing as an, look at David Ali's facial expression. Look at his body language. Look at Owen Knight and what he just did. And to make a joke about like, oh, that's the same as my weight or whatever the fuck that he said. Fight the urge to distract from the presentation. If you're not contributing to the effect, you're hurting the effect. Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Is the Southern Honor
Great camera shot. Great fucking camera shot. Oh my God. Does anybody do better camera work than Southern Honor? And the editing of this thing. Does anybody do better? The answer is fuck no. The shot over the shoulder, you catch the referee, and then you've got David Ali almost perfectly centered in the frame. This motherfuck. I mean, what a shot. I'm gonna screenshot this for my goddamn thumbnail. Because it's so goddamn good. Even though I won't be in it. Because if I do the shot with me in it, I'll block the referee, and I don't want to do that. Because that's too good of a shot. If I find a better shot than that, I will be stunned. Because that is a gorgeous shot. Great job, camera work. That is better than anything going on in the
don't
WWE.
forget, as we heard earlier from GM Gary Lamb, we have a guest referee for this match, and well, I have no idea who it's going to be here.
Well, there's two referees in the ring already, so maybe one of them is the...
I gotta get that.
Well, Gary Lamb teased that it might be him, and that's his music.
Well, like clockwork, here's the GM. I wonder what he has to say. Could he be the special referee tonight?
Is he wearing the stripes?
Oh, well, we're about to find out.
Oh, okay, so there's some
Music playing. Where is he?
something about
I don't know.
who's the special referee, and the music hits, and the commentators theorize that it's Gary Lamb. They've set it up, so now that they've set up this, who's the special guest referee? Here's the music, and they've said, I don't know. What should they do, everybody? Say it after me. Shut the fuck up. Because it's like, it's now you're going to spoil. Do they sit there and go, who's it going to be when they're counting down from 10 in a Royal Rumble? Do the commentators go like, oh, I can't wait to see, it's going to be somebody, I'm curious to see who? No. At a certain point, shut the fuck up and let us engage with the material instead of presenting it to us all the fucking time. At some point, you have, when you're selling the car, and that's what commentators are doing, they're selling, right? At some point, you have to say, will you come to Jesus? And then you have to be quiet and let that emotion and tension build in order to get your way, right? If the person just keeps saying, are you going to come to Jesus? Are you going to come to Jesus? You should come to Jesus because Jesus is really great. Jesus, Jesus. At some point, you have to let the connection do the work for you. And the commentators right now are not letting they don't trust us enough. They don't trust the presentation enough. They have to speak less. If they talk until the person comes out, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. Good. Shush.
There he comes.
And he's got a
Why, here he comes. Fuck. I love Gerald and Brennan, but fuck. Talk less. We know he's coming. Gary Lamb's going to get a huge reaction. Let us hear the reaction, for fuck's sake.
referee shirt in hand.
And
Special guest referee.
but he's not wearing it.
I like that Gary does the one finger thing. No, it's not
Well,
me.
I'm sure he's going to put it on.
I like this
I don't know, it's
tease.
a little small, cheapy.
Well,
It'd be a little tight on him, I think.
Fight the urge to make jokes here. Fight the urge. Right? Gary's doing the tease for you. God, when you're showing something, you don't have to tell us. Showing is better than telling in all forms of entertainment and art and presentation. Gary's doing a good job here of like, is this shirt for me? You don't have to tell us that the shirt's too small. We fucking see that the shirt is too small. God, talk less. Yeah, am I gonna have to listen to them fucking yammer on for 25 fucking minutes during this thing? God, I hope not. Speak less.
What?
Wait a minute.
No way!
Don't say wait a minute. Just shut up
Wait a
and let us
minute.
fucking enjoy it.
You're kidding me.
It can't be! It is! What? Listen to this crowd! The roof just came off for Dani Jordyn. The real mean girl is back! It's Southern Honor Wrestling!
We've not
Oh,
seen
I like
the
that she
real
snatched the
mean
shirt
girl
and
since
dissed Gary.
Jack, and there is
I like that she snatched the shirt, walked past him, and then she makes it about her presentation. Dani Jordyn lost a lot of weight, and she has every right to have this moment. Let's let her have the fucking moment. I hope Gary doesn't fuck it up. I hope the commentators don't fuck it up.
There's a unique relationship between Dani Jordyn.
Kudos to Gary for just selling. Instead of having to get one over on Dani, he just fucking gets the fucking jacket thrown in his face and just walks to the back. This is her moment. Gary's letting her have it. Kudos to him. Commentators fucking talk less. Please.
David Ali and Owen Knight, the three of them were part of the new era that literally run roughshod all over SHW for nearly 2 years.
We catch, again, great camera shot, great editing. What do we catch? We catch we catch Owen Knight going, she looked good. That's the story. Just say, everybody knows that's followed Southern Honor that David Ali, Owen Knight, Dani Jordyn, we're all together. Say the name of the clique, New Era. And then fucking let it stop. You don't have to explain every fucking thing. And I get that there's a lot of people who are seeing this for the first time and they may not be familiar with Southern Honor. That's why you just do the setup line. You don't have to fucking hammer the points home. You don't have to say the same thing 3 different ways back to back. I recently on Patreon did a thing where I talked about the tag match from Southern Fried, and I mentioned, you know, JJ is the best commentator. He's phenomenal, but even he was getting caught up in this thing, him and Adam Vance, of just fucking talking and talking and talking and talking. Commentators, talk less. 2 years ago, I got the fucking promoters to stop lying about their crowds to a horrible extent, for the most part. Last year, it was about getting a whole bunch of wrestling shit that was really terrible out of the picture, too. This year, it's about commentators fucking talk less. Talk way less. Action, Southern Fried, fucking Southern Honor. Talk less.
And now she's back with a referee shirt.
How about this? Dani Jordyn wearing the stripes here tonight. She just picked up David Ali's hat that
God damn it,
threw out here on the floor.
We can see that. Why are you gonna call out every fucking thing we're looking at? Jesus, let us engage with the material. It's so beautifully presented at Southern Honor. You don't have to fucking tell us. Just let us trust us as an audience to engage with the material. Trust us. It's presented so beautifully. I just hate that it's a constant yammer of noise in my ear.
You gotta ask yourself the question, who does this give the advantage to with her being a special guest referee?
That's a great question.
That's a salient point, and now the other guy backs it up and says it's a great question. But it's not your job to answer it.
Yeah, whose side is she on here when the new era disbanded?
I mean,
we don't know.
The last time we saw the new era together, all 3 of them were together. And so now, wow. So let's get this straight.
And I love the presentation of the 2 referees leave, and they leave it to Dani Jordyn. We clearly understand the message, which is Dani Jordyn is the referee for this fucking match.
2 normal referees have left the ring. It's a new era party, dare I say, with Dani Jordyn as the special guest referee. This is a curveball if I've ever.
Good job, Dani Jordyn. Tucking in the shirt, taking the loose parts of the shirt and tying them up because we want to see that freaking gorgeous frame that she's worked so hard to get. I'm a big fan of presentation. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, GB, this is not the new era reunion we were expecting.
It is not.
Good. This is not the new era reunion we were expecting. It is not. This is a great time to not talk. This is a wonderful time to not talk.
Still waiting on the bell. I guess she's.
And now look at this, Dani Jordyn. Did you see that?
She takes her ref official duties here.
But God damn it, commentators. The crowd's popping and reacting. Let us hear it. The best asset of Southern Honor isn't their production. It isn't the commentators. It's that they actually have a viable large crowd that makes noise at appropriate times. You're taking your greatest asset and you're crushing it for your audience that presumably wasn't there live and perhaps has never seen Southern Honor before. There is nothing a commentator can say that is better than the sound of a crowd that is reacting to the story that you are telling. Let me say that again. There is nothing a commentator can say that is greater than the sound of a crowd reacting. Do you remember in Crockett Promotions when Dusty Rhodes was doing flip-flop and fly and hitting people? What was the crowd doing? Oh, oh! Every one of those hits punctuated by crowd noise. You know what you didn't hear? Fucking commentators going like, Dusty Rhodes with a hit, and another hit, and another hit, and now the bionic elbow. Think about it. Did you hear that? No. They let it speak for itself.
Did you just see what she said to Owen Knight? She said this could be yours.
Wow.
She is giving us here the championship belt and ring the bell.
Calls for the bell here.
And look out! Whoa!
There's a barbed wire bell.
Whoa! Fuck, commentators. Speak less. Allow the boys to tell the story. Allow the match to tell the story. And you're just there. Commentators, I'm sorry this is turning into a thing about commentators, but I have to drive this fucking point home. Your job is you're the Greek chorus. Your job is you're the analyst of the football game. Do fucking football analysts talk every fucking second? Or do they let things play out? Do they let us hear the pop of the pads when the guys are hitting each other? Do they go, whoa? No. Think about that. Baseball commentators, they might set things up for us, but then they know when to shut the fuck up. Randy Johnson winding up, quiet. Because they want us to hear the crack of the bat or the strike. They want us to hear the umpire call strike. They don't talk over that shit. Because those are the audio cues their crowd is used to hearing at the game live and on television. And pro wrestling commentators have fallen in fucking love with themselves, or they're so afraid of letting a moment of silence pass. Think about it like a good date. If you're having to constantly yammer and ask questions, so what do you do? Where are you from? If the date feels like a goddamn job interview from hell, it's a bad date. It's the moments where it's good if there's a free-flowing dialogue that's natural and organic, but it's also wonderful when it's just like, cool, we're also enjoying this time quietly together and having time to think and process. And they're not giving us a time to think and process. Let the fucking story play out.
Bad immediately, but he missed and took a shot from Owen Knight. Now, Owen Knight just on the attack here.
So let's be clear about the rules of this cage match here.
Camera work's a little WWE for me, where it's like constant switching and it's constant motion. Like, again, this is one of those times where get the shot and let us see the story they're telling and understand it. That's more important than you trying to generate action through camera motion and editing. There's times where you just let us see what the fuck's going on, in other words.
You can win
without editorializing. See, camera work and editing can editorialize on what we're seeing as much as commentators can in their own way through the visual medium. The WWE, when they're shaking the camera, they're trying to tell you how to perceive and see a thing, right? And right now they're trying to make us see this blur of action. We get it. You don't need to do that for us.
one of three ways, either by pinfall, submission, or escape from the cage. And as you can see,
speed of escape.
Look at this.
And immediately Ali trying to go up and over the top of the cage, but Owen Knight, like a cat, just jumped right up to the top rope and met him up there and takes him back down to the canvas now.
Here's the deal. If I'm David Ali, I'm trying to end this match as quick as I possibly can. Because let's face it, you don't get paid by the hour, and here's our first pinfall attempt.
This is a lot of cliches. I was going to say that before, but I thought maybe they're going to lay off once the match gets going, but they're not. A lot of cliches, one after another, chomping at the bit, etc. You're not paid by the hour. These are all things that I've heard a million times before. That's another thing I would urge commentators. Find an original yet clear way to say things. Please. Please. It's like reading poetry from a teenager that can't really write. All they do is just spout cliches because that's what they know. Great writers find ways to say less but have those words be more impactful. And not speaking entirely in cliches is a great way to do that.
And how about that, Dani, right on top of the action there, doing a great job so far.
She's on top of the action. You know, I don't know, who she would favor in a scenario like this, but maybe she's not favoring either of them.
I don't know. It's like she's kind of leaning towards Owen, but I'm not sure.
Here's the deal. It's a family affair, right? And in a family affair, you literally have these.
She isn't leaning towards anybody. That's part of the mystery of this thing, right? And I think the commentators, by editorializing and continue to talk, they're really taking away from the presentation of this match. I will say physically so far, David Ali and Owen Knight are doing a great job. This is a really good match. I thought immediately taking advantage of the rules of the cage and showing that is a really pro move by David Ali. That's a good lesson for other wrestlers. If you have some kind of stipulation match or whatever, you're going to go for it right away. And the commentators continually talking about that is annoying, but it doesn't take away from the fact that David Ali immediately making the move to get out of the cage tells us more about how you can win in a cage match than outright telling us does. David Ali showed us. And right now they're trying to hit each other into the cage, but they're not doing it yet. It makes that cage more important. Yeah.
2 brothers and a sister. I've got to ask you, do you have any brothers?
I don't.
Strikes
You
look
don't have
good.
any brothers. Well, I have 2 brothers, and I will.
And what are the commentators talking about? They're fucking brothers. Stop talking. These guys are committing war and trying to hit each other into the cage. That's what's important, right? What's important is that neither one of them want to hit that cage with their fucking face. Because if that happens, obviously, the effect and the detriment to their chances of winning are huge. That's the story that they're telling. And these other guys are telling the story about brother versus brother, and I had brothers. And fucking cares, right? Would a commentator in football be talking about like, well, yeah, I know how hard that is because blah, blah, blah. That's stuff you do in the quiet moments. The commentators are there to help accentuate what's going on, not take away from it. Right now, there's a whole lot of taking away. I will say from a physical standpoint, I love this story that they're telling, meaning David Ali and Owen Knight. David Ali tried to escape the cage right away, but Owen Knight is his physical equal. He bounds up there just in the same way that David Ali does. And I like that the commentators pointed that out, though they did it at length instead of just quickly. And now I love the fact that both of them are trying to throw each other into the cage and aren't successful at it yet. They're teasing us a little bit. I like it.
I'll tell you now, the most dangerous fights I've ever had in my life have involved my 2 brothers. Yes, I love them. Yes, I think they were valuable. But when we got to scrapping, we got to scrapping. We've got 2 brothers here who are willing to fight and throw love.
We have the sound of a great chop thrown and sold by David Ali, muffled by the commentators, and then the reaction from the crowd, which was very loud, muffled by the commentators as well. I know I keep emphasizing this point, but I need to hammer this shit home because it's going out publicly. Fucking talk less and figure out when to fucking talk, because right now they are smothering this match and they're ruining my enjoyment of it, frankly. But it's a great match.
Out of the window for all that's happened with them and for the SHW Championship.
I got 4 sisters, GB. They used to all beat me up all the time.
Oh! Then there's that.
Big shot.
Do I have to hear him say "oh" to coincide with every hit instead of letting me hear the noise of what's going on? Come the fuck on, Gerald.
Owen Knight, but I don't want to talk about that. Let's focus on this match here.
Yes, let's focus on the fucking match and shut the fuck up. See, even they know deep down that they're doing too much, but they can't stop themselves from doing it because they feel like they're not doing their job properly if they stop talking.
I'm sure that left you scarred.
Oh, yeah. Look at this reversal there. Owen, Owen, big right hand there right across the face of Ali. Ali misses wildly. And another shot from Owen.
God damn it. We're having all these great overhand smacks and stuff, and we're not hearing the noise. Shut the fuck up, commentators. If this is a good sequence, though, I like it a lot. I'm going to do them the courtesy of rewinding it. I really like the sequence here.
Night, but I don't want to talk about that. Let's focus on this match here.
I'm sure that left you scarred.
Oh, yeah. Look at this reversal there. Owen, Owen, big right hand there right across the face of Ali. Ali misses wildly. And another shot from Owen Knight. Oh, another miss from David and a shot right from midsection up under the chin.
Look at this.
Step up into Geary.
They're missing the story. But Owen Knight and David Ali are telling me a good story here, which is up to now, who's had the advantage? The answer, nobody. I try to leave the cage. Owen Knight stops me if I'm David Ali. I try to throw him into the cage unsuccessfully. He tries to throw me into the cage unsuccessfully. This is the first time that either one of them have had a sustained advantage over the other, and the person who's winning it is Owen Knight, which wrestling match-wise is a proper structure of a storytelling. Owen Knight is the de facto babyface in this scenario, so he should get the shine in the beginning, and that's what they're sticking to. And again, a nice posed shot there of Owen Knight. They're doing their job very well.
The champ down.
And there you go. That's the right thing to do. Count of 2.
Gotta tell you, those are pretty solid counts, too. It's no fast count.
Oh, my God. If we have to hear you fucking analyze every one of Dani Jordyn's fucking counts, I'm going to lose my mind. We get it. We've already set up the story. We're going to be paying attention to Dani Jordyn's counts. We don't need you to tell us that.
Not a slow count.
She's very consistent. She knows the rules. She's doing what she's got to do. It's a 2 count there. And I got to say, for Owen Knight, this has got to be a wonderful watershed moment to have the opportunity to finally take out his aggression on David Ali. No Austin Towers. Wow.
Big chop right across the throat.
And here's the flip side.
See, they're warring against each other. One of them is wanting to tell a story. Look. I'm gonna say this thing. I just thought of a good analogy. Right? My mother did translation work. So you'd have these Japanese shows that would show in Hawaii, and she would do the subtitles. And I asked her once what was that like, and she goes, "It's a very difficult job because you have to take a lot of information." Because she's like, you only have so much room with the subtitles. And people can only read so fast before the next line comes in. So you have to take a lot of information and you have to boil it down to its essence. That's the commentator's job. Unfortunately, most commentators, and Gerald and Brennan are along with this school of thought, I guess, which is you have to expound as much as possible and fill up the screen with their words, metaphorically, instead of truncating and then giving us the meat. When you think about Jim Ross, especially prime Jim Ross, and what made him so great, we don't rattle off long strings of Jim Ross fucking commentary, do we? No. It's, instead of going, Stone Cold is here in the building and everybody's excited and you can feel the energy picking up and look at him walk to the ring. What does he do? Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold, and that's fucking enough. That's taking a world of information and emotion and truncating it for us and punctuating the moment and making it stronger. Right? It's not, oh my God, mankind has fallen through and he continues to get hurt and Undertaker continues to do things, which is how people commentate nowadays. It's somebody stop the damn match. Become a fan of this shit. If you listen to Dan Wilson, the Dragon Wilson back in the day, what made his commentary so great is it felt like he was the Greek chorus. He was the fan next to you that just knew a little more and that had a better seat than you did, and he was going to let you in on that experience. And when Jeff G was finally going to get his from Rick Michaels, it was like, that motherfucker deserves this. Make that motherfucker bleed. That was way better than describing things endlessly, right? To put myself over, I would usually pick one wrestler who I just decided I would hate as a commentator, and I would encourage them to banter back with me, and it would instantly put them over and instantly make them more of a thing. I did it with Curry Kid, and then when he became TMZ, I would just go like, I hate that guy, I hate him, because that was the cue to the crowd. Oh, we're supposed to hate him too. Yeah. Less subtitles is your job. Not expounding more. Yes, bring us information, but do it in the most truncated way possible, with a great a line as possible. You're poets. Speak less. You're not novelists. Wow. Did I just sum up commentary in a nutshell? Be a poet, not a novelist.
For that, David Ali has been waiting to get to this moment.
Wow. Man. Face first, right into the cage.
While 2020 may have been, just a horrible year for so many people, David Ali took this year to turn around and change everything. He changed his body, he changed his workout regimen, and he decided, I'm going to go for the gold, and he ended the year as the champion. Here's the thing. Can you defend the title successfully? And there's no tougher opponent or tougher match for your first. Wow. For your
I like that story. So David Ali gets the advantage back. I'm just going to do my best to not talk about the commentary anymore. I think I've emphasized those points enough. David Ali gets the advantage on Owen Knight. And then he goes and he kind of tests the cage a little bit, which allows Owen Knight to come back on him. I think it's good. I like that they're not presenting the babyface as the dummy, but instead the heel as the guy who wants to win the match so desperately he kind of takes the eye off the ball when he has the advantage. I like that story.
first title defense in a cage match.
David Ali trying to get that door open, but before the referee could get there, Owen was right back on the attack. Oh, look out. Face first right into the top turnbuckle now. Both men, these guys go back a long way. They know each other so well.
They have.
Good kicks. Jesus. The strikes from these guys are exceptional. Really good work, Owen Knight and David Ali here.
What more could they do to surprise? Oh, look at this.
Wow. I wish I could have heard what he said.
Ali just mouthing off to the crowd here.
And now the commentators don't tell me what he said. Fuck me.
This is a scary moment when you think about it because these two guys have known each other for so long. Look at this, getting in the face of the real mean girl. And she just shoved him.
I like that story. No, they're not shoving. They shouldn't have touched each other, to be fair. I don't think you should touch each other. I think they could have gotten away with stuff without touching each other. I think David Ali just gets uncomfortably close. Maybe like points the finger at her, and then she's just like, dude, don't do it. Once you break the touch barrier, it will lessen the impact if you do something big later. You want to avoid crossing certain lines until you cross them to get maximum effect. Does that make sense?
Officialness, she's here to do a job here tonight.
That's right. Where it's scary is these two brothers have known each other for so long. And here's the thing. What would they do to each other to get this win? We saw the match start with a...
I'm going to have to ignore the commentators after this, but see how they have no interest in what's going on in the match? They've fallen in love with the sound of their own voice. And they're feeling the flow of just talking to each other. And they're detached from the match. They don't know what David Ali yelled out. They find themselves having to come back to the action because they're not invested in the match itself. They're too worried about, they're so busy trying to keep their job that they're not doing their job.
Barbed wire bat attempt.
We said this on the pre-show too, GB. It's almost like the SHW.
Ali interacts with the crowd, says something about being a savior, which again I can't fucking hear, and allowing another spot for Owen Knight to come back.
Championship is taking a back seat to this
Good
feud, this
spot.
rivalry.
It is. And when you wonder why something like this, wow.
I like that setup too. David Ali hits, he's selling the rope, and then he comes back. Owen Knight has to counter in a different way, puts his head into the turnbuckle, which I like, and now we'll see we get a switch. So that's two things. Usually on the third thing, then you have a reversal of fortune.
When you wonder why something like this has happened, it's really simple. There is a code. When you're dealing with brothers and families,
Big back help.
Now
there's a
Owen Knight
simple
clearly
code,
has
and
the
the code
advantage.
is this. When you get put on, wow, mid back suplex. When you get put on,
Nice Saito. Goes for a pin here.
you take the rest of the family with you.
Just a 2 count. Man, he landed right on the back of his head there.
One of my pet peeves of matches is usually when somebody kicks out of a pin, the match dies. We'll see. I'll give them time to sell it. David Ali's selling his neck. That's good. Owen Knight's selling himself as well. They're weighing in on the damage that they've taken, which I like a lot. But we also have almost 20 minutes more of this match to go. Hopefully they're not dying at this stage of it.
That suplex there from Owen Knight.
I mean, if you think about it, when Dr. Dre got put on, he brought Snoop Dogg with him. You know, when you think about people, and then comes Eminem. It's a whole family situation.
Fuck are the
You know, when
commentators
Toni Braxton gets put on, she brings her sisters along. The fact that
Now we see Owen Knight try to win by climbing, and David Ali stops him in this sort of desperate way, which is great, which is how a heel should look. It should look very desperate. And now Owen Knight's going to lay it on him.
David Ali decides to go for the championship and not consider his family the new era is a problem.
Interesting idea there from Owen Knight. Instead of going for the door, he went to climb the cage.
Wow.
Good night. Whew. Face first right into the cage once again.
And now we're concerned because this is where the brutality of a cage match comes into play. And we've seen amazing cage matches happen over time.
See, this is where they could bring in some of that good stuff commentary-wise, but they've said it all over the parts that were exciting. This is the part where commentators get to shine, is during the quiet moments of the match. And it's why you just want to speak less in general, so you can really emphasize a couple of key points here and then back off and let them continue to tell the story.
Certainly here in SHW, and now how vicious will David Ali be when he's trapped inside of a cage?
Everything looks good. Everything is effectively done. Those stomps look good. They're sold properly.
Oh, the vicious side, like you said, coming out now, just laying the boots.
And it's very deliberate. You know, you've got to wonder, like, you know, you get into fights with your brothers or your family, you don't really want to hurt them, even though you're in a moment, but I've never been, wow.
Oh, man, here
Stop
we go.
talking. This is good.
Chop fest, GB.
My goodness. Good Lord.
Man.
I like that, though. I like that David Ali, even as the heel, gets the better of the exchange for now. That allows us to tell a story later on of Owen Knight coming back and getting stronger at a certain point of the match. And all of those strikes were perfectly done. They're flawless. I love it.
These guys are going at it, and again,
Body
my
language
brothers
is
have
good.
never been in a steel cage. To be in a steel cage and to see.
I like that David Ali forced the action there. Owen Knight wasn't getting up quick enough. Fuck you, you're going. Because it doesn't make sense for me to wait. And I like that too. David Ali's body language is one of domination. This is his moment, you know?
The potential damage. Is there a point you think that either of them will say, hey, I don't want to hurt you this bad, I got to stop this?
By seeing the looks in both of their eyes here tonight, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I do not think so. And also keep in mind, Dani Jordyn.
Look at that intensity. That's a star look right there. That's a guy who's invested in the moment of what he's doing. I love it.
I'm impressed. She's doing a good job. And so far remaining neutral.
Whoa.
It seems like, for the most part. And now in between the ropes and the cage,
absolutely,
is Owen Knight just, taking these vicious kicks repeatedly.
Very intense. Looks great. It's not spectacular offense. It's well done offense. That's a heel's offense. He's beating the shit out of him. Owen Knight's helpless. He's kicking the shit out of him. And the only respite that Owen Knight gets is when David Ali backs up and plays with the crowd, which is his flaw. His flaw is his arrogance. And I like that he's played into it more than once. I love it.
This is brutal.
Look out.
Wow.
That running knee strike right up against the cage, almost like a V-trigger type maneuver.
And it's been a running theme when we've been talking about these two things don't go together. And steel cages and flesh, they don't go together. The steel cage always wins.
Ooh.
And now he's
small thing. As David Ali drags him, Owen Knight makes a motion towards trying to grab the rope to save himself. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it's really great.
Dragging him back into the ring, and it's time for a... Wow.
Look at this. Just when I said she had been pretty neutral to this point, I got to say, that was a little slow.
Well, think about this. He shoved Dani and had some pretty mean words to say to the real mean girl. I wonder, does he not consider her a sister anymore?
Again, a little bit slower on these counts. Owen Knight, though.
I like that interplay where he's trying to pin him again and again, which is usually a spot I don't like, but they're making it part of the story, which is Dani was kind of slow to count that first one, a little faster on the second one, so he's going to count it again. So now this is about the interpersonal stuff between David Ali and Dani Jordyn, and it's good. It's good storytelling.
Still able to kick out.
Well, let's think about this. Okay, we talked about how David did not bring Owen.
That says it all. The commentator goes, Gerald goes, let's think about this. What they don't understand is we don't want to think about it. A pro wrestling match is not an intellectual exercise. It's supposed to be an emotional one. And when commentators endlessly talk and ask us to engage the intellectual parts of our brain and take in information and invoke memories, they're taking away from the power of a wrestling match, which is to appeal to your emotions, to get around the intellectual defensive barriers that we all have. It's why pro wrestling nowadays overall sucks, because it rarely engages you emotionally, and because we won't allow you to be engaged emotionally. We don't want to take the chance, and we should want to take that chance, because when it happens, when an emotional connection is made, it's beautiful, and no commentator in the world can talk you into having an emotional connection.
Owen along. Instead, he went and got Austin Towers. Well, let me tell you who else he did not bring along. He did not bring along the real mean girl, Dani Jordyn.
Charges in but misses.
Wow, that looked good.
Yeah, discus.
That looked good.
Forearm there and a big pump kick right up under the chin. Look out. Owen charges in.
Wow.
Eats two big boots right up under the chin.
Nice cutoff spot there. Owen Knight got a couple of things going. Then he gets cut off. Now David Ali is going to ramp up the action, goes to the top rope.
Ali going to the top rope, but rather than climbing the cage, he comes up that shotgun missile-style drop kick, and he takes the working team captain down.
Well, you got to think about it again. They are embroiled in a fight, and sure, the SHW championship is on the line, but in that moment that he was on the top rope, he was not thinking climb out of the cage. He was not thinking retain my title. He was thinking, oh, wow.
David Ali is strong. He kips up, even though he collapses a little. He's showing us that
he's a bit exhausted.
He's in a better,
right back down to his knees, and now
he's in a better state than
his way back to his
Owen
feet.
Knight
Now,
is.
yeah, I think now he's going to try to climb the cage once again. Looking for an escape here. Owen Knight,
and again, he's trying to climb that cage. Both feet have to hit the floor to retain the championship, but look at this.
Quite a predicament here.
Oh, it's a big buckle bomb there.
Buckle bomb has him reeling.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, shades of the late, great Brody Lee with that discus clothesline.
Yeah. But look at this.
Speaking of Brody Lee, how about the black hole slam there from Owen Knight?
He handled him like a big rig, and I'm telling you, the shot to Brody Lee is a special move. These guys are doing incredible things.
Wow, both men now just laid out in the middle of the ring, and Dani Jordyn starting the implementing the 10 count here.
Well, think about them. Those
could you imagine if there was a double?
Oh my God!
Neither man could get up here.
That would be crazy. Here we go.
Oh, look at this pin attempt.
Oh,
cover there, but it was all he could do to get an arm over.
Those two hit some big power moves in the spirit of Brody Lee, and they took a lot out of them, and it's almost like this whole thing is resetting.
It's a very good match. Let me emphasize that. It's very good, and I'm really curious how they're going to try to bring this thing home.
Right now, who can get the upper hand in this cage match?
That's right, we're back to square one at this point.
Absolutely, Brian McKnight said we're back at one, and we are back at one. What's going to
A small thing, but Danny nodding there, along with the Owen chant, is great. And the commentators talking over the Owen chant is not great.
happen here in this title match?
This crowd firmly behind the working team captain, Owen Knight, with his Owen chant.
Meanwhile, the champ is over in the corner, and is he reaching for something?
Well,
I don't know.
His jacket's over there. I don't know what he, looks like, what did he just get out of his jacket?
He hit.
Are those handcuffs?
Nice.
They are.
Oh,
wow.
man, he just clocked Owen Knight right in the head.
So how?
He uses the handcuffs, and then he shows them to you. Look at this camera shot. How great is that? Pro. It all looks really good. Good job by David Ali and Owen Knight.
He managed to, this is another weapon he managed to bring in the ring.
He had him in the pocket of that leather coat that he brought, that he wore to the ring.
The leather jacket
And
that
now-
never made it out of the ring.
And Danny can't really do anything about it because there's no DQ in this type of a matchup.
Oh my goodness. Now, you know, I would have thought that she might have, you know, pat him down for foreign objects, but she didn't.
And it's a cage match. He brought in a barbed wire.
Cameraman focuses on the handcuffs. Smart.
Bad. I mean,
Well,
what's
he
the point?
did. He absolutely did.
What's the point of patting anybody down at this point? Oh, no.
And this is
Oh,
a scare.
no.
Oh, wait. And she's not stopping him from.
It's no DQ.
It is no DQ.
But, oh, no.
Oh, no. Come on.
Oh, I thought he was going to try and lock him to the ropes.
Possibly.
But he was able to escape.
Oh.
And he might have used the cuffs right up against Ali there.
He's absolutely, well, you do know once you get to about February, or we're right in the middle of cuffing season. You know what cuffing season is?
I don't know what that is.
I'll tell you about that after the show.
All right. Oh, look out. Oh, like a code breaker type move there. Lays out the champ.
Can he cover him?
Crawls over, hooks a leg. Title on the line. No.
So close.
I like this story of the match. Owen Knight has prevented himself from being handcuffed to the rope, but he's got the handcuffs on him. So now it's this sort of like looming thing over the match, but he's got it on his wrist. Does this mean he's going to end up getting handcuffed to the rope or something? I would imagine he is, but they're building up the tension.
How frustrating is it? Is he so close and he's got to get these handcuffs off? But who is the key?
That's a great question. I don't even know if he brought a key to the ring.
Wow. Because I'm sure he had no intention of getting those cuffs off of him.
Absolutely. Once he hooked him up, I imagine he was going to try to hook him to the ropes.
I would imagine so, but now let's see what he's going to do. Can he use these cuffs to his advantage?
Oh,
is it?
Could it be set him up for the clock out,
It
perhaps?
could be. This would be the right time for it.
I don't think of it. Oh no, they were able to escape though.
Look at this.
Oh,
wow.
Able to hook his feet on the ropes and able to escape, and now just using the cage, the back of the head, back of Owens.
Great spot. I've never seen that before. David Ali goes over the top rope, lands on the other side, and then bashes Owen Knight's back of his head against the cage repeatedly. I like that spot.
Head hit that cage numerous times.
Head meet cage, cage always wins.
Oh, man. Owen Knight now down in the center of the ring. And on the outside, Ali trying to collect his thoughts and think of another sick idea.
And you know he's got plenty of them. He's got plenty of them.
It's a scary thing to even think about what's going on inside that guy's head.
But look at this. Look at this. He's going back to the back.
Back to that bar.
David Ali is so good presentationally. They had this handcuff scenario, and now that hasn't come to fruition yet. Now he goes for the bat, but he does it in a almost theatrical cinematic way. So we can see it, the crowd can get it. He's taking his time and making sure we're getting every one of these spots. And what is brilliant about this structure of the match is now we're going to have this interplay with the bat. You know what we're going to forget about? Those handcuffs. And I bet you they find their way back in at the end of the match. And you will feel rewarded as a fan of like, oh yeah, they have those handcuffs too. I love it. This is a very good match.
Barbed wire bat.
Oh no, this is frightening. What is he going to do with a barbed wire bat?
He's got a sick look in his eyes right now, folks.
Come on, you don't have to do this, David.
Even Danny's saying, like, come on,
just
think
try
about
to win
this.
the match. You don't have to hit him with a barbed wire bat.
Think about this.
This is not what you want to do.
You guys used to be family. Come on now.
This is crazy. Somebody
Oh,
stop
no.
this.
Oh, Danny gets in the way. Danny stops him.
Thank you, Dani Jordyn.
Uh-oh. Think about this, David. Come on now. Don't do anything crazy now.
Wow, look at this. They're tussling over this.
Now Danny trying to get the bat. She gets it free.
Great move.
Danny able to wrestle the bat away. Now look out. Oh,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
oh, he missed David Ali. And he almost clocked Danny there.
Oh, no.
Here's that bat right to the
I love
midsection.
And it's stuck in the midsection.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Geez.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Brutal shot, that barbed wire bat right to the stomach of Owen Knight. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, vicious shot to the back. Oh.
A bat is bad enough. Wrapped in barbed wire, that adds an additional level of...
I love that he's using the bat now after it appeared that she had taken the danger away, but it happens anyway, which makes it even better. And then her sell of it is like, I did what I could, but technically, you know, he can use it, so I have to allow it to happen. Great.
pain.
Oh, that's tough to watch, folks.
It is very tough to watch. How did this relationship disintegrate to this?
And now he's going for a pin. He's demanding that Dani make the count, and reluctantly she's, oh no!
But he kicked out.
There's still some fight. There's still some fight left in the working team captain.
You better believe there's fight in him.
Oh, look at this. David Ali, you're number one according to Owen Knight.
You're number one indeed.
I like even the other referees looking intently through the cage. I like it. It really clues us in to the emotions that we're supposed to be feeling with this.
Owen Knight with a little bit of life left in him.
But wait,
make his way back to his feet. Oh,
why is the champion looking at our referee like this?
Eyeballing Dani. Oh no,
Dani.
He's got Dani by the shirt now. Come on,
This is
David.
ridiculous.
David, come on. She's the referee here.
This is ridiculous. Oh, super.
See what I mean before? They shouldn't have touched each other before, because it would have made him grabbing her by the shirt more blasphemous and her reaction bigger. Man, that other part went so long that I have to add this part now at the end. So we're in the last 8 minutes of the match. We're definitely going into the heat, and let's keep watching.
Kick! Super kick from the real mean girl.
Look at this.
David's reeling. Oh, Owen sends him into the cage face first. And again.
And another cage shot.
Taking him on the tour of the cage.
Having to eat all the sides of the cage is what heels do in matches. I'm glad to see they're keeping up with that tradition here. It looks great.
Cage now.
And Dani is encouraging him to go for it.
Again, heads up. Oh,
wow.
Oh, right into the post. Right into the post.
He hit that post.
That looked great too, and it was unexpected that he just took a header into that corner. One thing they got to be careful about, though, is if David Ali is supposed to be the heel, and now it seems like, in Patriots fashion, got the referee working against him as well as his opponent, when he has really done nothing wrong beyond sort of stretch the boundaries of the rules, but there's nothing illegal per se about using the barbed wire bat, which, again, let's remember, Dani Jordyn actually physically stopped him from using it first. So we are in the danger of David Ali being a sympathetic figure here, but the crowd is clearly going for who they're supposed to go for. So far they're pulling it off, no doubt about it. I just wanted to kind of put that bug into people's ears when they're laying out their matches.
Hard.
He might be out. Look at, he's just hanging there on the
He hit
second
that post hard.
Come on, Owen. Get him,
David looked like he
Owen.
went head first right into the post.
He hit hard. He hit really, really hard.
Oh man.
Oh wow! Did I see blood?
That post or the cage one may have lacerated him.
That absolutely.
If he is bleeding, he did that pretty quickly. Assuming he bladed himself. Let's see.
Absolutely did.
And now, just pounding on the forehead.
Oh no!
And don't forget, he's also got those cuffs on the other hand there.
Oh, that's right.
I hate that the commentators brought up the cuffs. Unless he's using it to bludgeon him with, which may be what they're talking about, I would just keep my eye off of those cuffs as much as I can. They done such a good job of making us forget about it as an audience. You don't want to, if what you're doing is you're moving the ball around where they're looking, don't point out the fact that they've moved the ball.
Oh, wow.
Now using those cuffs, now just choking.
Okay, they're using the cuffs. I take it
This
back.
is getting absolutely brutal right now. But again, if you think of the level of hatred that's happened between these two, it only makes sense. And let's remember, it was not Owen who introduced these cuffs into the match. It was David Ali.
There you go, David.
Now Ali being brought up to his feet by Owen Knight. Oh, could it be?
Oh, wow.
This might be it. Could it
This
be?
could be it.
Could it be the clock out?
This is good. Brings him to the center, takes his time, sets it up. You know, I put out a challenge once upon a time because people kept saying, Owen Knight, Owen Knight, Owen Knight. And I'm like, show me the great Owen Knight match. And nobody really lived up to that challenge. People said, oh, you could check out this or you could check out that. I'm like, just give me a link to a great Owen Knight match. And nobody did it. This is a great Owen Knight match. Oh!
Time's up because it's the clock out.
He's down. He's done.
Nobody's ever kicked out of the clock out. This is going to do it.
Oh, no.
God damn it, commentators. As soon as the commentators said no one's ever kicked out of it, fuck.
What in the world?
Just shut the fuck up, commentators. When somebody's going for a pin, can we just shut the fuck up? Can we just not say anything, please? Just as a rule, from commentary, if I'm looking at a match and you're fucking saying something during a fucking pin, I'm gonna fucking call you out on it. Let the fucking story hit. Notice that the crowd's still reacting big to stuff. It's because they can't hear the commentators fucking foreshadow everything for them and give away with all these tells.
How did David Ali kick out of that, particularly after that shot he took right into the post?
A bloody David Ali able to kick out of the clock out. Like I said, nobody has ever kicked out of the clock out.
And this has got to be a
Ali
scary,
just convulsing there.
this is a scary moment right now because Owen Knight has got to be wondering, what do I have to do to beat the champion if I've hit him with my best shot? And I fired away.
He's got to be wondering, like you said, what has he got to do? Dani Jordyn's wondering, what has he got to do?
Absolutely. I'm wondering what he's got to do.
Oh, my
David
God.
Ali doing the crawl, keeping his head up, making sure
Maybe
the blood
this is what
looks
he's gotta
good.
do.
Wow.
Owen's got his hands on the barbed wire bat.
Absolutely.
And here's okay, because is he justified in using the bat? Yes, David Ali used it first. Good job.
He's got his hands on this barbed wire bat.
And he's selling it to the crowd. Yeah, I'm going to use this thing. The crowd's hyped. Obviously, they're going to fuck him on it. Hopefully, the commentators don't frickin' blow it for us.
And could turnabout be fair play?
Could turnabout be fair? Just shut the fuck up. God, cliche, cliche. Just let him tell the story.
Batter up. It's almost time for spring training. Look at this.
Oh, look at this.
Oh no.
Love it. Great spot. Great
David
spot.
Ali goes back to an old faithful. That low blow.
Great
EB, you
spot.
know all too well.
All too well about that, and it doesn't feel very good at all.
We saw him do this to Owen Knight at the Rumble Jack, if you'll recall.
We did. Could this be the great equalizer? Meanwhile,
Sort of a subtle little thing. But Owen Knight doing a little sell, and he gave the handcuffed wrist a little shake there. Maybe to cue David Ali, like it's time to do the handcuffing thing. If they go into that, all I got to say is great job, both of these guys. I mean, this match is really impressing me. I really love it.
and he's just realizing that he's bleeding.
David Ali, that adrenaline's been pumping. I don't realize he thought that if he knew that he was.
He's furious. He's taking that blood and making it into fuel. Really great. Look at the expression. Look at this picture, right? So you've got Dani Jordyn. I might be blocking part of her, but Dani Jordyn at their level making eye contact, trying to look at David Ali. David Ali's furious. Owen Knight's down there, set up for the kill. Great job.
busted open, but he does now, and he's starting to taste his own blood. And
well, here's the reality of it. The thing that really saves us, according to the Savior, is his shed blood. And could this be the thing that saves Owen Knight? But now,
those cuffs.
Oh no.
Oh, this is.
He has him handcuffed like a common criminal.
And Dani can't do anything about it at this point.
Not only can Dani do nothing about it, but how can Owen defend himself?
Somebody get a key or something, some bolt cutters, anything.
This is dangerous.
Oh, this is. David, come on now.
Wow.
Oh, a headbutt.
Well, let me be.
Owen still
That's a nice spot. David's taunting him because he thinks he's helpless, but Owen fights back with the headbutt. It's going to make when he gets destroyed here even better.
fighting back.
Look at this.
Oh,
super kick.
How about that? His hands cuffed behind him.
Can he
and
cover?
He's still trying to make a cover.
1, 2. Oh.
I like that Dani is saying the number 1, 2 to make it very obvious. I like the job Dani Jordyn's doing.
And the arms are handcuffed behind him.
Wow, this is something else.
This is in essence turned this into a handicap match.
And Dani trying to help him
Dani trying to help him up. I like that spot too.
to his feet, but again, she doesn't have a key. Apparently nobody at ringside has a key.
She's doing her best to help him. And that's the right thing to do. Oh, wait. She's going to go look for a key.
I think, she's going through Ali's jacket there.
That's the right thing to do to make this and keep this a fair fight.
A bloody David Ali now back to his feet.
Good job with the camera work and the editing. We stay with Dani as long as we can, but then we cut back to the match when they're finally doing something. Nice job. I wanted to point out again how good the camera work is and the editing for this thing. It's top notch.
Owen down on his knees right in the
facial expressions from Ali. And now we're about to have this running kick. He's helpless. It's so good. Look where I've stopped this thing. It's so good.
Oh no! Oh no! Big punt right across the forehead. Oh no! And did she find the key?
She found the key,
She finds the key, but it's too late. It's a
here.
great
And then David just spotted her.
David is looking at her with the key. What is going to happen right now?
Come on, David. Think about what you're doing here.
This is not good. And now, how do you kick out of this?
Rolls him over.
Oh, no.
Floats over.
Oh my God. They said, how do you kick out of this? What does that mean, everybody? What does that mean? He's kicking out. These commentators are killing me, man.
For a pin here.
Come on.
But Dani, very reluctantly.
The crowd is silent. This spot is going to work in front of the live crowd, but the commentators have just done a tell for me. And I'm assuming that he's going to kick out. I haven't seen this before. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see.
Looking to make this count. Now he hooks a leg for good
1,
measure.
2. Oh,
and there it is.
God. You've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
He pinned the handcuff.
So much more impactful if they had just let it go silent as the crowd went silent. It's such a big deal and it's such a brutal spot that they're speechless. Instead, it's rendered the same way the rest of the match is.
Tough man.
It's still Southern Honor Champion, David Ali.
And that's how it ends here tonight, folks. A handcuffed Owen Knight gets pinned by the champ, David Ali, who retains the title here tonight after this crazy cage match.
This is a total miscarriage of justice, but I can't help but to think, the thing in the Bible that tells us that without the shedding of blood, there can be no remission of sins. And the truth of it is, we can't find salvation without the blood of the Savior, and the Savior bled tonight to retain his championship and save SHW. Dani found the keys, but it was too little, too late.
And now Dani, I guess, presenting the title to Ali. But
look at this. He's making a demand.
Oh, are you kidding me? He's going to make her put it around his waist.
Wow.
Don't do it, Dani. Come on.
This is insults. This is an insult. But what choice does she have? She's still an official.
This is sick. Come on.
This is absolutely sick. After the way he abused her in this match, and now he seems to get this sick pleasure out of...
Yeah, take that, Ali.
Wow. Demanding.
Word to the wise, if you've never put a title belt on somebody before practice, it's not as easy as you think.
The real mean girl raises hand in victory here.
Wow.
David Ali,
And
as you like to say, like it or lump it.
yeah.
He did what he had to do, and he's leaving here tonight with the title still intact.
And you've got to understand here the concern that she has for Owen Knight. Clearly, she's not falling out with Owen Knight like David Ali is falling out with Owen Knight. And he's clearly drawn a sand. New era is no more. It is the era of the Savior. All right. Hallelujah.
I'm not going to say that. I can't bring myself to say that. This is a bloody David Ali now makes his way out of the cage.
It is a bloody David Ali.
Title still in hand.
He has retained the championship against his greatest opposition here in a steel cage. And I gotta wonder if he's willing to do that to keep the title. What does this mean for 2021?